Hello, listeners. Hello. Is it Cranky Coxie?
No, I might be cranky Coxie in a minute, but first I'm going to be comedian Coxie.
Comedian Coxie.
What do you call an anxious dinosaurs?
I don't know.
Nervous Rex.
Welcome to the Tradies in Business podcast with your hosts Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Divert your phone and grab a brew as Waz and Nick unpack tips, tales, secrets and stuff-ups from guests both inside and outside your trade, helping educate and inspire you to break the cycle of gut-busting and money stress and create a true trade business.
Hi, listeners.
Hey, it's been a while between Fuck It Friday drinks.
It has. We've been in a dry spell between fucking Friday drinks.
It doesn't mean we haven't been having...
We've been having our own version of fucking Fridays. We just don't record them and share them with you, listeners.
Probably because we've been too angry, or I've been angry, and sometimes that doesn't go down too well on the podcast.
There's so much to be angry about, isn't there, Nicole?
Sometimes.
I can be offended and angry about. I've just got to pick up my telephone, which is not actually a telephone. I don't know why we call them phones, because they're not phones. They're social media devices. But anyway, every time I pick it up, there's something else for me to be angry about. And I'm already an angry man, according to my ex-wife. So that's bad.
You do fit into the age bracket.
Oh, dear.
All right.
Nick,
sorry.
what should we be angry about today?
Well, I was reading some stats that were really pissing me off. If you hadn't guessed, it's a fucking Friday episode. There will be blasphemy on this episode today. Promise not to do one on Good Friday for you. All right. Are you ready for this stat that I've just read?
Go for
my throat.
it.
That's serious.
It's choking on it.
The construction industry in Australia generates over $360 billion in revenue each year, producing around 9% of Australia's gross domestic product, and has a projected annual growth rate of 2.4% in the next 5 years. Most businesses in the industry are either sole traders or very small, employing less than 20 people. And what I said off the end of that was, and where the fuck is all the money going? Because we are talking to tradiepreneurs and trade business owners every single day of the week. And I guarantee many of them are struggling in one form or another. So it had me scratching my head. How can so many of them be sole traders or very small and such a huge revenue on a yearly basis? And the money, I don't know, it's not in the hands of our small business owners, not for the most part.
Righto. So there's a magic word in there, I reckon, Coxie. And this is what shits me about media and the government is they just feed us all horse shit. And unfortunately, lots of people don't see through it.
Yes.
So the magic word in there is turnover or revenue, $360 billion in revenue. Now, most business people, actually, I don't know about this. Do most business people know that revenue doesn't mean shit? That it's profit that actually matters?
I think that when I'm going to say no, I think most people don't know, and they don't know because they don't know what they don't know. And when we talk to trade business owners, most of them don't understand where the money's going. So they don't understand the profit equation.
And they go, oh yeah, I made $3,000 on that job. It's like, oh, sick. How much was the invoice? $3,000. Well, you didn't make fucking $3,000 then, did you?
I'm not laughing at our trade business owners. I'm laughing with them because it's the way they've been educated.
Exactly. It's shit house. Like we're too busy. Oh, don't get me started on social commentary, please. Not on this podcast. I need a different one to talk about. The things that we're being distracted by in schools and schooling and raising kids and all that sort of stuff. And then, we come out and start a business and no one's actually given us any information or education about the difference between revenue and profit or cash in your pocket. And that's really, like, for me to go off on a tangent on a Fuck It Friday, which is what we do, is the role that media plays in all of this, I think, is really shit, because they take these stats and they go, check out how awesome construction is. It's 9% of GDP. That's a massive industry. Like that's up there. And I have looked at these numbers over the years. I studied economics a couple of lifetimes ago. And so agriculture and transport are a couple of the other big monster industries that make up our GDP, which for those that don't know is gross domestic product. It's some outdated bullshit measurement of a basket of goods that apparently tracks the fucking wealth of a country or some shit.
Insert yawn.
Yeah. What? Hang on. We're back. So anyway, 9% of GDP is a lot. That's a shit ton. $360 billion. I can't do a Dr. Evil voice. 100 billion. Anyway, so that weirdo voice. I think the problem, Nick, is it's spread out over so many bloody people.
Yeah.
So it's mostly sole traders and small operators. They're all out there punching each other in the ghoulies, fighting over clients and materials and shit. And no one's working together to actually generate something valuable for all of the families and everything that rely on these businesses. I feel like I need a beer and a ciggy in my hand.
It's true, though. You only need to look to the media and see what the continued narrative is around trades. It's all negative. None of it's positive. None of it's the entire, I guess, rebuild of our country off the back of COVID has been based on the trades, has been based on construction. That's how we're trying to stimulate our economy, and yet none of that is a positive narrative in the media. I've never heard the media say amazing things about how challenging this time is for construction, how amazing they are to continue to do what they're doing and do it to the best of their abilities on a day-to-day basis. All we hear is about Barry the builder, who was an asshole and didn't show up or took money or didn't build to code, or Christ, there's a bazillion things you see. Or if you watch Current Affair,
G'day, Barry.
They'll corner them at the local IGA or the local service station getting an ice break, and then the shit tradies is doing a runner because he doesn't want to talk to the camera. Of course he doesn't want to talk to the camera. Nobody's talking about how shit clients are at the moment. So when you are faced as an industry with that constant negative narrative, it's really challenging for any of us to come together and have a voice together about some of the things that need to change, so that we are all able to focus on what we need to focus on, and that is creating positive businesses with positive cash flow and positive profit that help us create lifestyle for our families. Instead, we're stuck in this negative cycle where we're being told that we earn, what did I say?
$360 billion.
That's so much money.
I can't do his voice.
$1 million.
I can do plenty of accents, but I can't do Dr. Evil.
You might have to practice.
Actually, I can't do plenty of accents. I only have like two.
Go on, bust
and quite
one out.
often they get mixed up together.
They do.
It's my it's my fallback.
They really do get mixed up.
Or throwback or something. I'm not sure. Anywho, it is a shit ton of money. But when you spread it out over 359 billion businesses, it's fuck all.
Yeah, that's so true. I'm just having another look here. Sorry.
And I know we've talked about the media before on the podcast and had a chop at them. But the brain baking aspect of that is that people tune into it every fucking night. And they scroll all the news articles and they read all the shit on the news feeds. And just you lot listening, you keep buying it all. And so they keep printing it. And maybe you specifically listening to this before you choke on your Chico roll don't necessarily believe what's in the media. That's okay. I hear you, brother or sister. But there's lots of people out there that do. So we need to go find them and bash shit out of them. No, don't do that.
We've got pitchforks and torches right at dawn.
We'll do a witch hunt or a wizard hunt. But I don't know who the hell is the media printing this shit for? Is it for themselves, or like is it for the public servants or the politicians? Do they read the paper and go, "Oh fuck yeah, look how good we are"? 9% of GDP. We get the construction industry fucking firing, buddy.
I don't know, but I occasionally sit and watch the news with my lovely husband, the builder, who will yell at the television at the stupidity of the poor reporters.
I really want to see that one day.
Oh, no, you wind him up more than enough. We don't need any more contribution from you. Thank you very much. So he'll be sitting yelling at the television about how dumb the reporter is, specifically on current affairs, if we happen to catch current affairs while we're doing whatever. And I'm trying to say, but you have to understand it all passed through the editor. The editor is responsible here. And who is the editor responsible to? 9 times out of 10, they're responsible to the people that pay for the ads on your television or on your radio or wherever else you're consuming media, Facebook, Instagram. And I think that's what we need to be thinking about. That's who this is for. It's not for us as a consumer. It's for them. So they get their advertising money.
It's also, I think it's also an opportunity for people to be a little bit more discerning with the media that we consume, Nicole, and just listen through or read through the fly-infested pile of cow dung that gets printed regularly and trotted out. So most of the businesses are small, are sole operators or have less than 20 employees. What the fuck does that mean? Most. And it's probably the usual distribution under a curve, if I can get all mathsy and Professor Warwick here. But talking about $360 billion spread over whatever construction businesses there are, you think about the big behemoths here in Australia, the Metricons and, Grocons. I mean, ProBuild just fell over. Let's not talk about that. But how many of those first tier monster construction businesses are included in that 360 billion, and what's their slice of the pie? In reality, they probably take 50% of that, and the rest is spread over all of the poor bastards that are out there busting their hump every day in the rain. So it's shit reporting, and it's as you were saying earlier, that they're pushing a narrative, they're painting a particular story, because that plays into, as you say, the advertisers and the crap that they're peddling. And I think ultimately it just is designed to keep everybody addicted to the drama.
Drama. We had a great discussion this morning with our team member. Hello, Sophie. And Sophie's helped us with our languaging. So occasionally we
She didn't
make
help us with our potty mouths, Coxie.
No, she did not. She never does, though. She does a lot of eye rolling. I reckon she's got the best eye muscles in the world. We were talking about drama queens and drama kings, and she decided that it just should be called drama. So perhaps there's some drama, and by that I mean people, media, social media in your life that you can eliminate. So we stop buying into that shit narrative and stop, I guess, paving the way for that to be a continuation of what's going on. Find the positive, spread the positive, talk about that consistently in your trade and other trades. Support the tradies around you instead of fearing them. You might be amazed what you can learn from them or what they can do to help you with the contributing to your business and the growth path of your business. If we all come together and start to work together, we can create some change. We can't do it alone, unfortunately. God knows Warwick and I have tried.
It's funny, the media don't want to hear our stories because they're too positive.
No, and
we're not interested.
I don't want to totally say every piece of media is rubbish. We've got some great contacts in the media who regularly reach out to us to help facilitate some stories that will be positive, have a positive flow on for the trades in Australia. For example, the rising cost of fuel. We're doing a lot of work at the moment with a journalist around getting that story out there and how that's impacting business owners. So they're not all the same, and the growth story over the whole is very much still very negative. We need to change that. We have tried really hard and we'll continue to. We're not giving up. We're going to keep going. We've brought together the heads of the biggest associations in Australia and spoken about what's currently going on and how we can all work together to create change. We've created awards that are open to every section of the construction industry, again, to create a positive narrative. We continue with the podcast, 7 years, almost 8 years now. How many episodes? 500?
550 or something we're up to.
episodes of continued education for trade business owners. We promote that heavily within industry so that people can see many people are listening and trying to learn and do a better job. And that's just not a sexy story for everybody to pick up and run with.
Doesn't win votes, Coxie.
Not yet.
Not until you run for Prime Ministeress.
I'm not going to run for any kind of political seat anywhere. I come quite close enough with what the builder does with his little bit contribution to the country and the trades. And no, I don't have the patience for that. I'm too Garen.
Be a good way to destroy your life, I think, to run for politics or run for Prime Minister.
No, thank you.
Nic for PM. Coxie for PM. That'd be a campaign and a half, wouldn't it?
It would be a campaign and a half.
That's what I reckon on the job to write your campaign material.
Fuck jar sauce.
Thanks for listening, listeners. Great to be back doing a Potty Mouth Friday and just shooting the shit, sharing a few ideas and thoughts. If you've got some you'd like to share with us, let us know. You probably won't, but give us a go anyway. Drop us a line. You could leave us a review even. You could tap your little phony thing and give us a 5-star review. You can do that on Spotify now. Give us a review on Spotify.
Please do. Tell all the trade business owners out there how rockin' good the Tradies in Business podcast is, especially the fucking Friday episodes. Have a fucking great weekend. Hooroo. You've been listening to the Tradies in Business podcast with Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Find out more about today's guest, tools for your trade business and other cool stuff at tradiesinbusiness.com.au.